just a couple days away. Soon it'll be crisp fall days, college football. UC Davis, a little painful for me, as you know. That's the side of my missed kick at halftime.
Yeah, but there's still time. I think they should bring you back.
I think they should
another
too.
attempt.
Give me another attempt in front of my dad.
That's
you know what I'm saying? He saw me fail. I hope that the team is far more successful than I was this year. Joining us right now, the guy in charge of the team, the head football coach at UC Davis, Dan Hawkins. Dan, it's Dave. It's Jason. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
How far was the kick?
All right. Well, Coach, I don't mind telling you, it was from the 5-yard line, but really bad hold by the tee.
Yeah.
And I think there was a huge gust of wind at some point from the south end. So I'm not making excuses, Coach. I know you're not an excuse guy. I'm just saying at some point I need to get back out there. I've been working really hard.
All right. Practice.
Coach, look, you've been around. You've been at many different programs, huge programs, small programs. You're a football guy. What is it that's so special? Because you're Christian Brothers, local guy, UC Davis. What is it so special about UC Davis that you love about that program and about the area itself?
Well, it's kind of the holistic approach I think that Davis has always had, and that started from Bob Foster and Jim Soker and all the guys. And I think it's hard sometimes for people to understand. I mean, how do you really aspire to win a championship in football and also go to med school or do those kinds of things? And I think sometimes people think it's one or the other, and it can be both, and it has been both.
Talking to the head coach of the UC Davis Aggies, Coach Dan Hawkins. Coach, I'm sure you're excited for Thursday, game one. You've been through camp. You've got your guys ready. Game one's always a mystery. You don't know what you have in Texas A&M Commerce. Maybe you don't know entirely what you have with your guys, but what do you think you have with this Aggie squad for 2023?
Yeah, there's a little more intrigue because they got a new coach, so you don't really know. There's not a lot on tape, so you kind of have to play chess once you show up and get there. I know our guys bring a lot of experience and talent to the table, and a lot of fire in the belly. So I know our guys are going to play hard and represent. And we're just going to have to be pretty tactical after every drive because, like I said, we don't really know exactly what they're going to do. You have some sort of suspicions, but not totally.
Coach, your offense, 35 plus points a game, number 15 FCS. You're bringing back some major players. You're obviously looking to build on that. How's the defense this year?
Well, they're pretty salty. Yeah, we've got a good crew back there. We've got a bunch of guys over there that have been all conference or been recognized nationally and been through a few battles. So I like our crew on defense. We got some depth there, and our guys can run a little bit. And a lot of just mature, savvy players.
I know this is a long ways away. Coaches always worry about week to week, but to have your son coaching in the same conference now, Cody at Idaho State, I think that game's in November for you guys. It'll probably mean a lot then, but what's that mean for you to have your son who was with you before, but now coaching basically against you in the conference?
Well, yeah, I sort of lost a couple of great grandkids that were awesome, and kind of my best friend too. Cody and I have spent a lot of time together on the sidelines, both as a player and a coach. But Mike Cody, our new offensive coordinator, is doing a really, really amazing job. No, I think it's been great. Cody's been able to. He's sat in the captain seat for a long time and have seen this thing, both good and bad of it. So he's got a pretty good idea what's going on. And yeah, he and I both know it's really never about the other team. It's about yourself. So whoever can execute the best and play the best will win the football game.
Who has the advantage, though? Father or son? I mean, is it a young whippersnapper that's on the cutting edge, or is it is it you that you've got a few tricks in your back pocket?
Well, yeah, we'll see. It's Obi-Wan versus Luke Skywalker. So we'll see what we got.
Coach, I'd be curious, your just a general opinion on, you've been in this sport a long, long time. I don't know with what's happening with, you're at Colorado, you've been at Boise, with all this realignment. I think you guys have Oregon State coming up. They may be a part of the Pac-12 in the future. Who knows where that conference is going? Is any of this good for college football?
It's crazy, that's for sure. my general hope is that it somehow levels out. I do think, like Jurassic Park, nature will find a way, and I think the economics will level out at some point. But it's all about greed. It's all about power. It's all about egos and money involved. That part is really sad. The thing you think about is, okay, you got football component, which probably suffers the least. But when you talk about basketball, baseball, and the other sports that play in the middle of the week, and to make those kind of trips back and forth, and how do parents go and watch games and travel to games? I don't know. So I'm very worried about it. And it's not good in that respect. I think the FCS where we are in Sac State is probably a really good spot to be. I mean, it's probably true college athletics, quite honestly, because the rest of it is kind of turning into semi-pro. And to some degree, if that's what they want to do, go do it, go run with it. But it's kind of stretching the college athletic model in my mind.
UC Davis coach Dan Hawkins with us. It's interesting you say that, because people think about the fans, they think about the players. I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about coaches, because I grew up a Florida State fan, and Bobby Bowden is like a god in our household. And the stories of a guy like Bobby going into living rooms and saying, I will take care of your son. I will help mold him into a man. I will, the trust factor between parents and coach, and on the recruiting trail, which is the underbelly of college football nobody ever sees, when you guys are out on the road so many days going into living rooms and holding court. I don't know what that's going to do to folks like you and in your profession, when maybe not just taking care of the kids enough. It's what do you got in the briefcase, coach?
Well, certainly at the bigger levels, that's what it's going to. Mm-hmm. And I know in the Power 5 level, most of my compatriots will tell you when they go to recruit, it's not about the environment. It's not about the major. It's about what's your number. And that's really what it is. What's your number? And so it becomes down to a bidding war. And I know there's a particular school in the South that basically recruits and tells the kids they want, whatever anybody's offering you, we'll give you $100,000 more. So just let us know.
Wow.
So
that
part's kind of sad.
And just an offshoot of that too, just your perspective, because you're living it. Just at Davis's level too, the NIL, the transfer portal. I mean, are these things beneficial in your mind for the sport?
Well, we have got a few portal kids, but not many. One, because the academics at UC Davis of A, being able to get in here as a transfer, and then B, being able to have your units count towards a degree that you have to hit percent marks the longer you're in school. That number is hard for us. They either have to be a young guy or be a really student and get into grad school. So neither one of those are great options. We did have a corner go to Washington a couple of years ago, Jordan Perriman, and then our tight end. Now, both of these kids graduated, and I tell them that. Graduate from Davis and then do what you want to do. And then our tight end from last year went to Tennessee and will play for Tennessee this year. But he did graduate from UC Davis. So you understand that part of it. And I'm for them. I get that. And whatever they feel like is best. But we'll probably got our toe in it, but not our foot in it. It's not really for us a sustainable model to do a bunch of that. Now, there are some teams in our league that have got 25, 30 guys, new guys. We did, but ours are largely freshmen. They're not from other schools.
Yeah. We are the home of UC Davis Aggies football all the way through the season, have been for a very, very long time. We are excited for kickoff this Thursday. Coach, I want to leave you with a curveball just because you happen to fit the bill for this question. Which was more jarring to you when you first stepped on the field? The blue carpet at Bronco Stadium for Boise State, or unless they've changed this, I went on Folsom Field back in the late 90s, I think, and I was stunned at how crowned the field was. You don't pick that up on television. Which was crazier, the crowning at Folsom or that blue carpet at Boise State?
Well, there wasn't much of a crown.
Okay.
When I was at Colorado, and it's funny, the blue, you just kind of get used to it. It wasn't either way. What it does do is you realize there's some fields that are brown, some fields that are kind of yellow. You realize there's a lime green, a dark green. You realize there's a lot of different other types of green that you ended up playing on. But yeah, it didn't really affect me either way.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, this is a guy that brings experience to UC Davis, obviously knows what he's doing, and we wish you all the luck in the world. I'm sure we'll talk to you throughout the season. Go Aggies, and thanks so much for joining us this morning, Coach.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
I thought you might even mention, and I don't know if he would say it, but in the conference is Eastern Washington. They've got the Inferno, the red field.
Oh, that's
which
right.
is really. I mean, that's like when you, especially like from the press box, when you're looking at it, like
it's almost damaging.
Yeah, and then I mean, you do, I guess, get used to it as the game goes along, but it's jarring.
They must have straightened it out or something, because it was either 94, 95.
It's just dramatic.
I was staying at my cousin's with a friend of mine in Castle Rock outside of Denver, and we went up there for a thing, and we went to, I wanted to go see the stadium, and there was like there was an opening.
Yeah.
It was like
so it wasn't a game day.
No, it was midnight. It was the middle of the night,
yeah.
and we were dumb kids. We just went out and just kind of walked the field. We didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
We just wanted, it was so cool to be there. And I was,
you weren't like running with Ralphie.
No, I was walking with Ben.
Yeah.
and I was just stunned. Everything led to this high point at the 50-yard line at Folsom Field in Colorado. And I haven't been on many college football fields before, but it was really stunning to me how uphill it was and then downhill. So anyways, well, they must have fixed that. All right. Super question, Dave. We'll take a break. When we come back, the AL West finish is going to